Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Play On. My name is Candace Barrett.
I'm Rob Mackay.
And this is Pearcey. Candace, you're showing the people watching on YouTube the Rugby World Cup 25 women's in England jersey. I love the merch.
Yeah. I'm still getting more and more
Rob,
excited.
you've got your Balmoral Touch shirt on. I got dressed in the dark, so I don't know what I'm wearing.
You have a wine glass cap, though.
This
which
is actually
we're very excited about.
This is a podcast merch. The Two Drunk Accountants, my favourite accounting podcast. Although Accountants After Hours there's some really good accounting podcasts out there. Shout out to these boys though. Dan, one of the co-hosts, got married on the weekend, so I imagine he was a really drunk accountant.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? A one-on-one match, perfect balance of numbers, a debit and credit.
A debit equal credit. It was fantastic. Shout out to the boys. They're bloody fantastic, actually. I really enjoy listening to them. But on to more important rugby things. How was everyone's weekend?
Well, put it this way, I had to shower with my boots again.
Did you have 6 involvements? I read that.
Yeah.
3 plus 3?
That's a lot.
Yep. 3 whistle, 3 clipboard. Yep.
That sounds like a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, there was a lot of paperwork. And that was without any cards.
A lot of reviewing and paperwork.
Yeah, a lot of reviewing. Managed to clip one of my games. I've had a few things in recent games that I've wanted to clip just for discussion purposes, but the camera angles have never been right. But I had a good one on Saturday, so I shared that clip, and that was a good chat. Coached one of our referees beforehand on that match, which is why I was at that ground. Then went and did a first grade subbies game, which was sort of a herding cats because one of the teams didn't have numbers, which is a bit disappointing.
Yeah, I had a team with like weird numbers too.
Yeah, uncontested scrums, and it was more about managing the game rather than being a referee, if that makes sense. Sunday, he did another under-10s game, which is bloody comical, and coached a couple of young and up-and-coming referees. Under-10s are very funny.
Yeah.
But I've got to say,
they just like hoard over the ball, and that's when aren't coaches on the field for under-10s?
No. But one of the teams is clearly just come from under-9, so they're still sort of at the herding cat stage. The other team, they're running pods. They're doing chip throughs for the winger. They were really, really, really good.
Awesome.
So it was good to watch. They had some boppers, but they had a high level of skill and very direct. So well played to them.
Yeah, good stuff.
Very good.
So, busy weekend on that front.
Candace, what did you get up to?
A Division 4 Colts match. It was very, very rainy. I, silly enough, had sunscreen on, left in the morning from my morning walk on the beach, and my eyes were burning. And I couldn't see anything either, so I'd maybe missed some knock-ons, but at that rate, I couldn't see anything. And I learned... Someone told me, because we had Pub of the Month after, I need to make sure I have Vaseline over my eyebrows to help stop it and it goes around. So maybe next time when it's rainy to be able to see.
I'm hearing that, and I'm having flashbacks to Sandy McNeil, who was a great applicator of the Vaseline all over facial parts to stop the sweat running into various orifices. That's surreal, Candace. And I believe that the Vaseline on the eyebrows does help to keep the sunscreen out of the eyes a little bit. The problem is Vaseline in the eyes also not good.
Oh, okay. It sounds as though it was going to stop everything.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe not.
It melts as well.
Vaseline's a sun intensifier too. So there's another
no.
that problem.
Tip of the day, get a waterproof.
Oh my God, I would bleach my eyebrows.
Sunscreen. That's what I use, and I've got no barriers between where I apply it and my eyes.
Really?
And apart from some eyebrows, and I don't have any dramas with that. So
I mistakenly don't apply it to my forehead because no matter what sunscreen I use, it ends up in my eyes. I'm probably one of the more profuse sweaters on the planet. Me and Rafa Nadal,
did you get your little tennis sweat
I
thing?
have thought many times about wearing a sweatband, and I wear one sometimes when I ride, and it only works for a little bit, and then it too becomes
it gets worse. Yeah. We used to wear one when you ref super
sweatband.
Yeah,
no.
You had something on.
No,
or was it just the hair?
It's just the hair.
Just been the hair.
It was just good hair
with product.
But
yes, with a lot of product.
But good news, just to end minus my sunscreen thing, it was the first time, because I AR'd after for another match, it was the first time we had in subbies an all-female referee, team of 3.
Oh, that's exciting.
So yeah, that was
worth
really
celebrating.
Great.
Shout out, the girls.
Yeah, the girls. So yeah, that was Riley. She actually played. So she played that day, had a break, and then AR'd. And then
What a
Beth.
weapon.
And then Beth, bless her, she had a match somewhere else, was driving wet in her referee kit to go to this match, and then did that one. So bravo to
How was the
everyone
driver's
that
seat on the
day.
way home? Soggy. Oh,
Damn.
that's awesome. That's awesome. I did a Blouse Cup game, which at the moment is a bit of a stretch for me with some dodgy body parts. So I got asked to go to Dubbo to ref the Dubbo Roos versus the Forbes Platter Pie. And it was a really good game, really intense. I don't remember 80 minutes taking that long previously.
You're looking down at your watch, you're like, oh, geez.
Yeah. Look, there's I won't go into details. There's been a bit of animosity between the two clubs, and they needed a referee to keep the choke on should it arise. And there was not many moments where I needed to. So it was actually a great game of footy, albeit that Dubbo just annihilated Forbes. They are really strong this year. They've got some great footballers in there right across the park.
Interesting.
They're going to be hard to beat, but it was. I really enjoyed it. I was up there for a couple of reasons and really enjoyed the day. Ended up staying in Dubbo. The Dubbo show was on. It was all kinds of fun. But went back to my room and celebrated Scott Pendlebury, the greatest of all time, breaking the all-time games record. It was interesting. All of the numbers. I think the score nearly was 10-10 at one stage in 3 quarters. I had 10 tries in my game.
Oh, wow.
Scott Pendlebury wears number 10. So, Rob, I'm not going to do Stat Central this week, but there's lots of 10s around.
There you go. I love it.
How very decimal of you, Pearcey.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. More excitingly, this weekend upcoming, we are taking the podcast to Molong.
Woo.
Candace and I will be sharing the field in Molong on Saturday afternoon, which I'm really excited for.
So am I.
Outside broadcast.
I know.
Robbie, busy. Can we bring you up?
We do have to do it at some point, don't we? We've got to get our shit together and do that. So not this weekend.
Not this weekend, not in Molong.
No, sadly not.
There is a third game. There is a third game.
I do like Molong. It's a pretty little town.
Got to a point at the moment. The Dr. Alec Ross field there, it's beautiful. I've actually had some wonderful times there. One of my more enjoyable games that I played was on that field. I remember the mud was black. I was playing for the Molong in the black and white, and the other team was a dark green. And 3 minutes in, you couldn't tell who was who. So basically, anyone picked up the ball and ran the way that you weren't, it's not them. It was hilarious.
So
was
don't
even the
run
shorts
the wrong way, your teammates will tackle you.
Yeah, both shorts for Black Candace.
No.
You couldn't even tell who the referee was at times because everyone was that muddy. A beautiful spot, so looking forward to it.
Alrighty.
Nice.
Some general rugby news, everyone. I saw Jo Yapp is announced as the first Lions women's head coach for the tour that's going to happen next year in New Zealand.
I think that's a fantastic initiative to start the Women's Lions program. I know of Jo's work, and that is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's really good that they're announcing it now, just for the lead up of everything. And I think those be interesting to see how she sets up her team as well in the lead up. So yeah, exciting stuff.
Well, I guess the challenge for them is to work out if any non-Red Roses player gets selected.
Oh.
When you've won 60-odd of your last 60-odd test matches, it's going to be a tough gig to break into that team. So that'll be the discussion around the table, won't it? Now, who from Scotland, Ireland and Wales is better than their English counterpart?
Yeah, and that's always the challenge. But the Lions, the men's side, we don't have a comparison point for them. The Lions do tend to pull that together quite well. They do it by investing heavily in it before the tour, building that team dynamic. And as a coach, that's kind of one of those opportunities that you just don't get anywhere else, that ability to pull together an elite group and work with them on culture on a one-time event. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that goes close is Barbars, isn't it? But that's a slightly different mindset. But
much more abbreviated program, though. The Lions, they tend to have a sort of 4-month lead into the program with some pretty intense workouts. And the players in the men's side, you've always seen the Lions tour is where they are at their fittest, their strongest. They tend to invest time in it that they can't in any other window of their program.
Well, and as the tour progresses too, their cohesion index increases. So by the third test, it's on. And I imagine we'll see that in New Zealand as well. So
And the home team usually rises to the challenge too. They get that extended window to train for it too. So it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So exciting. And then some other news. This is more for rugby league, but I just thought it might be.
And look, if we are going to talk about rugby league, this line item's good. Last night was even better.
The Origin. Yeah.
Origin. Ethan Strange. Can someone sign him over? And James Tedesco. I'm a Dylan Edwards fan from way back, but Teddy, great to have you back. Stealing the ball at the last minute to win the game, that was sensational.
A game of two halves.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. I found it quite funny when the player was sent off. He was just like, oh, look. And he had like blood running down.
Yeah, it hit
his
my
ear.
head too.
Oh,
Look,
no. It was
I'm hurt too.
I was just like, mate, what are you going on about?
Yeah.
Off the field.
I think there could be an argument for it being 10, not send off, but not much of an argument.
Well, it depends if you're looking at it through the rugby prism or the
and
NRL prism.
I was listening to Joey Johns talk about some. He was dropping in the tackle. Watch the footage again, Joey. There was no drop.
Mm-hmm. There was no wrap. He was just shoulder head.
And Kalen's got form on that too. So yeah, it was a good result. But probably that's the other end of the spectrum to this news. I was quite interested in what the repercussions of this 30-year-old Jai Arrow from the South Sydney Rabbitohs has been diagnosed with motor neurons disease. We lost our AFL ambassador,
Neil Danaher.
Neil
Didn't
Danaher
he get
this
the
week.
He got Australian of the Year?
Yeah,
award?
he did.
Is that
And
right?
anyone wants to read a motivational book, read Neil Danaher's book, The Power of Choice. It is a great read. So it's quite topical, but the intersection of what the head injury process with Jai and the motor neurons, it's going to be interesting to see whether there is a link and what's done about it at rugby league, because they are a few steps behind rugby union in protecting the head, as we saw last night. General opinion was very mixed, rather than in rugby, that's a red card.
Yeah.
Well, there wouldn't be many players left on the field if it was a rugby game, put it that way.
Yeah.
They've got a major issue.
It's really disappointing and saddening for Jai and all his team, and it's great to see everyone get around him, because that's a terrible sentence. The statistics on how long he's got left are pretty horrible, and I've got a very good friend who's been diagnosed in the last 12 months, and I see him once a week at the coffee shop, and it's going to be sad. It's going to be sad watching that decline. It's a horrible thing, motor neuron disease, and whatever we can do to find a cure for it or some ways to mitigate it, I'm on board.
Well, it's not long since we lost Dottie Weir as well.
Yeah.
So it's transcends sport, and there's a common theme. So we certainly need to take action on it. There's no doubt about that. So
let's go to more brighter news. Brighter
news.
Very rugby league of me.
Brighter.
I've been seeing some very, very nice photos from Rach and Ella on a part of the world that I would love to get to.
Yes. They're
over
in Spain.
In Spain,
for the sevens.
Española.
Yes, they're busy, aren't they? And
Valladolid?
there's a regional theme here at the moment. So, down on the Iberian Peninsula and nearby, it's sort of the centre of the rugby gravity universe at the moment, because we've got the sevens this week in Valladolid in Spain.
There we go.
And for those who don't know where that is, it's sort of in the centre of Spain. It's actually just to the east of Porto in Portugal, and it's not a million miles from the Bilbao where we had the finals last weekend. And then just up the road is Bordeaux, where the sevens are going next week, and where there still might be a little bit of partying going on. So
of course there is. There's that prop who's been partying for like 4 days in his kit.
He's trying very hard to lose the trophy. So yes, it's
put in like a kid's little wheeler seat thing.
Yeah, on his bike.
And was cycling around Bordeaux.
It was classic, wasn't it? So yeah, it's in the centre of
a trophy and a baguette
Spain.
in the bike basket. That's the way to go.
I think it'd be more than one baguette, just quietly. So yeah, it's we're northwest of Madrid, just east of
pretty beautiful
Porto,
part of the world,
southwest of Bilbao. So nice
it's
little
really
rugby
exciting.
town.
And Spain are quite good at their sevens, so I'm excited to see what the results are.
Spain are actually quite good at rugby, full stop. They're one of the few countries that have got teams at all levels playing. 20s, men's and women's, sevens, men's and women's, 15s, men's and women's. There's not many countries that can tick those boxes. So, but Spain's one of them. So, great place to go. Wonderful crescendo for the sevens. So, yeah, really looking forward to the next 2 weekends. It's going to be a rugby feast.
Excellent.
And friends of the pod, Ella and Rachel, we're going to be having a ball. We can see that already.
Enjoy some sangria and maybe some dancing. I love
it. We had Pub of the Month last week, and I messaged Rachel to say, because she's just newly moved to Sydney. I said, look, just a reminder, we've got Pub of the Month. She said, I would love to come, but I'm sitting on a plane on the way to Madrid. I went, that's a fair excuse.
Thanks,
Oh.
Rach. See you next meeting.
So, well, whistle well, Rach, and enjoy, and we'll see you soon. So, yeah. Speaking of European rugby, it's 1 month until the World Rugby Junior World Championship. So the appointments have come out for that. We'll talk about those later. So again, building up to that crescendo, as you say, Pearcey, too much rugby is not enough. It just keeps on giving. There's rugby everywhere you look at the moment, which is wonderful. World Rugby's announced their new strategy. They've got a vision of, to quote, powering rugby, uniting the game and enriching lives. So there's a holistic statement. If ever I saw one, there's a lot in that. We need to dig deeper. That's a chat for another day. But it's built around the next 6 years.
We've got the strategy, don't we? We can put it in the bottom shelf and pick it up again in 6 years, can't we?
Yeah,
that's
at
how
the
it
end
works.
Of 2031 World Cup. So more to come on that. But yeah, I think it's hinting at some changes in the way the game's managed and the money flows and the calendars and so on. So yeah, very exciting. The Wallaroos now know their schedule for the rest of the year, which is fabulous.
Better late than never.
Buy those tickets.
Better late than never.
Let's go.
We know they're playing New Zealand in Auckland in August. We now have their WXV Global Series schedule. So they've got England, ouch, in Salford. Salford always rings a bell for me because it was where the tax office is in the UK. So and it's a fairly dreary place otherwise, and tax only confirms that. Sorry, Pearcey.
Come on now.
They're playing France in Provence, which will be lovely. So just up the road from Marseille, I reckon that'd be a cracker. We've got the Scottish team in Edinburgh. They've got
that'll be a good match.
Scotland return match in Sydney, and that's a double header with the Bledisloe. So that'll be an absolute doozy of a day. Can't wait for that. I've got tickets for that. Looking forward to that. And then they've got Scotland again in Canberra. So 3 in a row against the Scots. So they should have a fairly good understanding of where they're at by the end of that series. And probably a good balance because, the top 2 or 3 teams are probably a little bit of a stretch at the moment. But Scotland's in that mid-pack with the Wallaroos.
Yep.
So that'd be a really good opportunity for them to bed down some combinations.
And I'm glad they're going to get some footy. Like it's been a bit skinny on the ground for test matches, so it's good.
Well, even skinnier for the lead up. So, and I'll come to that later.
Should we move to some Super Rugby?
Super Rugby. So, what did you guys watch? I've watched like bits and bobs. And anything you want to highlight in there?
I saw bits. I didn't see Bob. I thought he was rested this week, but yes, there was lots happening. I've seen most of the Super in various forms. There's some funny bits, no doubt about it. There's some trends emerging.
It was Kids Round, everyone. For
yes, and if you weren't sure on that, there was a few clips of Angus telling everyone about it being Kids Round.
Hey mate, listen, I know he slapped you in the face, but don't use like language on that. It's Kids Round, okay?
Very good point.
The first game of the weekend was the Crusaders Chiefs. He wasn't on that one.
No.
Crusaders got up. That was actually a really good game of footy.
It
Very
was,
good.
yeah. Potentially a harbinger of the final if the Hurricanes choke again. So on that note, the team that's finished top in the last few years has failed to win the comp. So, pressure's on the Canes.
Yeah, and the pressure is on the Canes. We saw a little bit of pressure showing on a few of them.
Yeah.
But they're still delivering. They're still absolutely delivering.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be – look, I'm not overly convinced by that performance, I have to say.
Okay.
That's not a tournament-winning performance. I know their position on the table was set and they're playing the Highlanders, but still, I'd be a little nervous if I was the coach.
Yeah, and the 5/8 was probably the one I noticed it on the most. He was doing some absolute sensational high-quality football, but you could see in his interactions with those around him, he's under pressure.
Yeah,
including near the mic swearing on Kids Round.
Yeah, we'll come to that in Captain's Chat. So
there was an issue with the mic, seemingly random.
Yeah, it sounded like he was broadcasting the referee's live comms across the stadium a lot, not just the normal
so that wasn't just me, was it?
decisions. No, so we normally hear the referee broadcast into the stadium on the high impact decisions when they've call timed and gone to the TMO or something
and they say,
like that.
They say like, oh, you're back now. Like,
there's a protocol for it, right?
Yeah.
and they were well outside protocol. It was like the work experience kid had leaned on the button at the wrong time.
Yeah, and I'm all for it, provided the referee's okay with it. Some referees love it. Like, Nigel Owens would love to run around and hear himself in the stadium the whole game, with no ad breaks.
Match would go for 3 hours, though.
Yeah, but some referees aren't, and I don't think we can go down that pathway permanently, but for some places it works really well, and the Crusaders love it. New stadium, they're probably just trying stuff.
Well, it looked a little bit random, so I can only assume that there was some sort of technical glitch, and I'm not sure what's behind that. So hopefully they iron that out. If it means more comms into the stadium without interrupting the flow of the game, I don't have an issue with that. But your stadium's got to be set up for it, and not all stadiums are. And some of the stadiums, the acoustics are terrible. So Allianz at Sydney, despite being your stadium, the acoustics aren't great.
And you can't have it all. You can't have acoustics as well as great viewing. So I don't think we can be consistent with it, but I also don't want to put extra added pressure on the referees. And sometimes scrutiny is not good, especially in a hot game. Speaking of which, a hot game like the other game on Friday night, the Waratahs Brumbies. Waratahs had it all to play for and just didn't get there. And can I say, it didn't look like getting there. There's only 7 points in it, but it never looked like they were going to get there.
They've teased all season. They just they do a lot well, but they just cannot become a complete package enough to break into the top 3 where they need to be
they're
to have
all
a chance.
pretty, and they say nice things, the Waratahs, but they just don't perform. It reminds me of a couple of girlfriends back in the day.
Should hear what they say about you, Pearcey.
Oh, yeah.
Look, it's the hope that kills you, right, with the Waratahs? Absolutely, it's the hope that kills you. And we didn't use our star back line well.
No.
And I don't know quite what's going on at 10. Teddy and Jack are the future. We should be playing them more often. And I think Jack's got his start again this week, which is good. I just hope we keep him because I think he's a great 10.
Yeah, I agree. And we're talking about Jack Bowen as opposed to Jack Deborah. It was very sound this year, but there was one stage there we had 3 10s in a row in the back line, and it just doesn't work.
No.
Nope.
There's got to be an element of pick and stick. So
let's also not ignore the fact that they probably spent the entire preseason planning on giving the ball to 13, and he wasn't there.
No.
Joseph Akuso Suwali'i has been effectively absent this season, which is sad. Like I like watching him, and a lot of people like watching him, and he would undoubtedly add some punch.
Yeah.
So they have missed him badly.
Yep.
But look, at the end of the day, the Waratahs just didn't get there. The Brumbies weren't as ruthless as normal. They weren't as accurate as normal. So they were under a bit of pressure from the Waratahs, but they got the job done, and they were, barring some misfortune this weekend, they got Moana, Moana got everything to play for and nothing to lose. So that's no easy feat for the Brumbies. So that'll be interesting. But look, the Brumbies got the job done, and that was the Friday night games. On Saturday we had the other 3 games. Did you guys want to talk about Moana Reds game? I did have a laugh that one of the mouthguard instruments went off.
Got hit from a sock. Someone not even
because
wearing
it was in his sock when he kicked the ball.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. I mean, you deserve an HIA for stupidity, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about this in the earlier in the year with Dono in the warm-up. But, the theory was it was in his sock and he was doing kicking practice. Apparently not, as we corrected ourselves. But in this one, he did have it in his sock and his ankle got kicked. So the mouth guard went off. Funnily enough, his HIA was cleared, but you'd have to wonder with that sort of decision making.
Yeah.
You've got a mouth guard, son.
Yeah, his baseline intelligence test may not have been great.
No, coming off a low bar. So, that was rather weird.
It was a funny old game. The Reds also got the job done, but geez, they made hard work of it.
They're not an 80-minute team. It's interesting if we can complement the Queensland and New South Wales strengths and weaknesses, we might have a good Wallabies team. And obviously we've got the other 2 teams to go in as well. But Queensland and New South Wales are both hot and cold.
Yeah.
If we can, get the curves perfectly aligned, then we might have hot, hot, hot. But if we don't, we'll have cold, cold, cold. So
yeah, and I know I've just said the Waratahs are out. Mathematically, apparently they can get in.
No.
They are 5 points adrift of the Reds with the same points differential. The Reds are one more game, so that's one of the criteria that comes in first. So the Waratahs are done.
No, they're cooked. So the game in Perth between the Tars and the Force, that's for Pride and Wallaby jerseys.
Dead
only.
rubberdom.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll come to the appointments later and talk about that. Apart from Gussie's captain's chat, which we'll come to later, he had a busy game. A lot of
Very
cards.
busy.
He did.
Yeah.
I thought he was exceptionally accurate, controlled in his refereeing in that game. We used to try and match up, assess our performance against the game as well. And I think his performance was high standard, and the game itself was incredibly high standard and high intensity, high challenge as a referee. I don't think you get many games that are more challenging than that. And he rose to it. I thought he was exceptional.
Yeah, I'd agree. And his team of 3 worked really well together as well.
They did.
Yep.
And that was my overwhelming sense. They did go upstairs for a lot of decisions, but they went up there with real clarity, and they got most of them right on the field. It was more assurance when they went upstairs, which I love.
They were probably the exemplar for the weekend in terms of how the MOs work together. You've got Gus, George Myers, Matty Kay, and friend of the pod, Coops, in the box. And they were clear, concise, and quick. And that was the benchmark. So well done. And it still resulted in some outcomes that needed to happen. So we had a red card, we had several yellows, all the right calls, and processed pretty quickly. And the guy who got the red, we're not going to see him for a while. So he got 6 weeks down to 4, but he might not get the benefit of the 3 because he's already been to tackle school. So he's either missed tackle school or wasn't paying attention.
He went to Owen Farrell tackle school.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all online.
Yeah.
So clearly a red that
got
was
his dog
justified.
to press the mouse buttons when he's watching tackle school.
Yes. So he might have to do tackle school detention.
Yeah, it was an interesting one about the yellow card, about the line break opportunity as well. I think that was described very cleanly on the field as well. Yeah, clear slap down for that one.
And the part of checking whether there's a clear line break, that you need that elevated angle. You can see it on the broadcast. They went back to the elevated angle, and Coops went, clean line break. That's a yellow.
Yeah, bang, gone.
Yeah.
Like
didn't watch it twice.
No.
Just watched it once. Step, good, got it. Yep, you were right. Give him a card. Move on.
And there was another try, no try, and Gussie just decided to go upstairs, and Coops goes, he was out.
Yep.
Okay, done. So nothing more to see here.
I did want to reflect on the yellow card process. It's very clear that Angus gives his yellow card with his body facing to wherever the camera is, and the interaction with the player that he's giving the card to is not a part of the process. He says it on the stadium camera that number 6 yellow is getting a yellow card.
Yeah.
To the camera, number 6 yellow is probably back in the huddle not paying attention. That's a change of process to how we used to do it.
NFL
I remember
style.
where you had a referee who used to stand their face and almost bang them in the forehead with it.
Yeah.
There's no need to interact with them. I quite like the theatre of that.
Well, it's just giving clarity, isn't it? So, yeah, absolutely.
It was a really good performance from the Highlanders who've lost a couple of players in the last couple of weeks, and they potentially weren't going to fire any more shots, but they certainly have, and they're not going to make the finals either, but they've been a real entertainment team this year. I've really enjoyed watching them, and I watched the Highlanders game in full. I didn't watch the Waratahs game in full because they're not entertaining at the moment.
The Highlanders got the best scrum too. Their scrum is brutal.
Incredibly brutal, yeah.
And we saw that manifest with the Hurricanes 17 getting binned. Who
looked completely confused. I can't get binned for that, can I? Yeah, mate. Repeat infringements in the scrum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And everyone knew it was coming.
Yeah. It looked like he was a sub as well. It was number 17. Yeah. And then after they were like, we need to sort out a replacement for him as well.
But that's also the slippery slope, isn't it? You bin a sub prop because they're not good enough, and you go, righto, well, where are we going from here?
Bring the tired one that might have been partially injured back on.
Yeah.
And he managed it well. The subsequent, so they picked a subsequent scrum from that. It was on again. Fortunately, I think the Hurricanes recognised that Angus wasn't going to back down on that. So that scrum, they went backwards, but without conceding.
Yeah.
So it's quite clever from the Hurricanes. They've obviously either on-field leadership or coach said, just cop it on the chin. We can afford this one. We can't afford another yellow.
Yeah. Interesting enough, one of the lower grade Prem guys here got a yellow. He was a prop from 3s that went up to 2s. He got 2 yellows, so I got a red. And he got a week suspension too.
Personally, I think that's a flaw in our system. 2 yellows is not a red card sanction in itself. 2 yellows was 2 yellows, neither of which met the threshold for a red card. The fact that we give a red card in our game doesn't mean that they should also fall sanction of a red card sanction.
I tend to agree, Pearcey, and that was the point. I think the 2 yellows is more than enough.
And we do the same in Central West, that the judicial process is that a repeated yellow gets a sanction. I don't agree with it.
Not for that sort of offence.
Yeah, you look at the sanctions that get 1 week on our judicial tables, 2 yellows is well below any of them.
Yeah, particularly I know it's foul play, repeated offences, but it's not foul play in the sense of genuinely foul play.
Yeah,
so
a heinous act of foul play.
Yeah.
Yes, or even a minorly egregious act. It's not that. So you've had your 2 yellows, you've sat out a match. That's enough.
And we've also got the comp rules. Most of our comps have adopted the Australian rules about if you have 3 yellows in a window, you will also sit a week out.
Yeah.
A good 7 should be getting that through a season.
Yeah.
Testing the waters.
I think that I do not agree with that. I'm on record at the higher levels not agreeing with that, and I think that's one we should change. So, lads, team, you're missing. Get rid of those ones.
Anything else from Super?
There's the hand separation, but I think that was clear through Coops.
Well, that was old mate number
TMO.
17 again too, so he didn't have a great day.
Oh, no.
I haven't spoken about the Force and Drua, and I only watched the highlights of that, and it looked like actually quite a good game. The Drua fired some shots. The Force played quite well. Lomax was quite good.
Yes, he benefited from probably not the most benchmarked match officialing moment of the weekend, shall we say? They'll put it this way, they'll be reviewing that one.
Yeah. But no, it was a good game, but neither of them are going to fire shots beyond next week.
No, they'll just be spoilers. So there's a great 2022, let's try saying that quickly, in the Crusaders Chiefs game. Bit of a game changer.
Yeah.
I thought there should be a special, like maybe if someone actually does a 22-22.
Get an uncontested line-out throw.
I don't know. Yeah, something interesting.
What's that? 56 metres from point to point. That's a direct. Given that you have to have an angle on it, that's a big kick.
Yeah. It came out of nowhere, really. So it caught everyone by surprise.
Can't they be game changers? That's what changed last night's Origin match. That was sensational from Cleary.
Yeah, so there was an interesting line out somewhere taken quickly. I think that was also in the Crusaders Chiefs game. It was quickish. It wasn't a quick throw because the line out had formed.
Was it a quickly taken set line out?
Yes.
Yes, because they got their stuff together and thought, why would we wait for them? And I think that's the best way to win a line out. I coach that all the time. Get there quick, win it without a contest if you can.
And the other team blew up saying we had 2 in line. Yeah, you did.
You did. And they had a line out, a proper line out, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Then jump.
So
like that.
I don't think all the backs were back and there were a few people milling around. So it was a little bit messy. It's in that grey area. So if you can get away with it, good luck to you. A lot of match officials will call that back.
Does it sort of like gain connection if they want to have the ball quick?
Yeah, there's no grounds for the match officials to call that back. If Team A are throwing the ball and Team A are ready quicker than Team B, that's Team B's problem, not the referees.
Well, Team A's got to make sure everyone's in the right spot. If they haven't got everyone in the right spot, then it gets a little grayer.
Yes and no. They don't have to be onside. They just can't participate until they get to an onside position.
And if you've got 2 receivers, for example, because they're still milling around working out their numbers, I think that's messy. And I think it fell into that grey. Got away with it, but it's just sort of one of those heads-up things. Yeah. You know. Looked a bit messy.
I think it's great positive rugby. We're trying to encourage speed of play.
We are, and I think that's why they let it run.
We reward it.
Yeah, and that's what happened. So, speaking of great positive rugby. Oh, my goodness.
So we didn't have any of the UK Prem. However, we did have the Champions Cup. So that was Bordeaux versus Leinster. Am I pronouncing
Correct.
that? Yes. And then I watched this on YouTube and just some of the highlights. I wish I could have watched it in full.
Yeah.
So if we did miss anything, I'm sorry, but I don't know where to see it. So I'm only basing it off the YouTube highlights. But it was... Well, Bordeaux had it in the bag, really, but it was enjoyable to watch. And I want to talk about there was a kick done by Bordeaux, and I think it was charged on or touched. Is that right? by Leinster, which made everyone on side,
Well,
correct?
yes and no.
And then someone else kicked it. I would like to discuss it because I couldn't tell from the clip what happened there. I was trying to listen to what they were saying.
Well, don't listen to what they're saying because that wasn't helpful.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Pearcey, have you seen it?
No.
Okay, so it's a 10-4C doozy, right? So 10-4C is one of those areas that I think is on the list to tidy up because it just causes so much confusion because it's the Clayton's charge down, and that's what we had here. So Bordeaux have got the ball in the middle section of the field. They're basically on the halfway line. They flick it back to their 10 who goes to do a clearing kick. The clearing kick wasn't his best, so the Leinster players touched it, jumped up to charge it down. It's deflected off his hand, but it hasn't been a charge down because it's gone backwards.
And we've had a discussion on this. I
Yes.
think it does constitute a charge down. Rob doesn't.
Yes, and the elite referees play it as a charge down, but in the letter of the law it is not, and that's where the confusion comes. And then a Bordeaux player who's standing next to the Leinster player who's charged it down, taps it back to one of his teammates. And Carl said, it's touched, everyone's onside, or words to that effect. So, he's cool. And, of course, LBB scores his second try off it. So, absolute chaos. But old mate from Bordeaux is well within the 10. It's not a charge down. So, it's just one of those areas that I think what we'll end up doing is we'll end up having charge down or attempted charge down, in which case we're clear.
In my time, that's the way it always was played. There was a period there in the late 2000s where how you're interpreting it, Rob, came into vogue, and I don't know who to attribute that to, but we never used to speak of that as anything but a charge down. They played the ball, it's all bets are off, everyone's onside, and that's how we used to play it. And I've got it here. It doesn't speak specifically to it. It could be inferred that using the English language in its purest sense, it could be inferred that that's not a charge down, but it can be read the other way too.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why it needs tidying up because it does cause confusion. And every now and then it pops up in a law exam. And if you go on the law exam and you get your attempted charge down and charge down confused, you get it wrong.
And I know where that came from.
So
Alex Richards interprets it your way and wrote the question.
And that's
but has not had consensus on it.
Yeah, so it's one of those grey areas. We're building up a bank of examples, which I'm sure will result in some tweaking.
Do we want to read out 10.4C
I've got it
as
here.
we're discussing it?
It's a long section, 10-4C. Or 10-4. You need to read it
10-4,
in
an
context.
offside player may be penalised if that player ABC was in front of a teammate who kicked the ball and fails to retire immediately behind an onside teammate or an imaginary line across the field 10 metres from that player's side where the ball is caught or lands, even if it hits a goalpost or crossbar first. If this involves more than one player, then the player closest to where the ball lands or caught is the one penalised. This is known as the 10-metre law and still applies the ball touches or is played by an opponent, but not when kicked. The kick is charged out. Sanction. The non-offending team can choose either a penalty at the place of infringement or a scrum where the offending team last played the ball. So we have to then intersect with the definition of a charge down.
Which is in knock forward, law 11. And that's where it just gets, it's just
not
a little
clear.
messy.
It's not clear in
that. So that'll be a hobby horse until it gets tidied up.
Yeah. And in practice, the kick happens, it gets touched on the way out. No one has retired, but they didn't have an opportunity to retire immediately. So the first half of that sentence doesn't actually apply.
Yeah, there was some other funny moments in the game as well. Poor old Luku, he was tackling Reds under the bed and he grabbed hold of his mullet. Only momentarily. And
pulling
then let
of the
go.
hair. Sometimes that's an automatic yellow.
In girls' games, I think it should be. In
games.
blokes' games, I'm okay with it.
Well, it was accidental.
You pulled my mullet.
Look, accidental mullet pulling, I'm okay with it.
And play continued. It only
As
came
it
back
should.
from the TMO, and the TMO gave poor old Luku 10 in the bin to think about the hair choices, which is ironic given Luku goes to the same barber as I do, and Reds under the bed clearly hasn't been to one for quite some time. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, Reds under the bed is Joe McCarthy.
Yeah, not the one in the States in the 70s.
McCarthyism was a big deal in the States post-war. It was on the hunt for communists, and they were looking for the Reds under the bed. Joe McCarthy was the senator that led that. This guy's the Irish guy known as, that's his name, Joe McCarthy. But guess where he's born? He's born in New York City.
Of course he is.
Someone is having a good old laugh about that. And I'm not quite sure what the backstory is, but I don't think he's Joe McCarthy by accident. So, yeah, big red. And he was pretty busy. And, a few minutes later, he jumps over Wacky to score a try too. So we've got the old jump over the tackler scenario in the try-scoring position. So someone said that the tackle attempt from Wacky was pretty lame. Wacky's playing 7 as well. So, yeah, lots going on there. So Reds was busy. And then, Candace, you quite astutely noticed that one of the Bordeaux players got a yellow in the 73rd minute.
Was it a flop?
Well, there was a breakdown near the line. Bordeaux were attacking, and he's a big boy, and he's just come in and just sort of done like the belly flop into the pool onto the breakdown. And Carl's go, no, we're not having that. Off you go. So that was his game done.
Yeah, I couldn't tell from the angle. All I saw was some weird body flopping, and then all of a sudden the next clip was someone going off. So I feel like I sort of got it, but it was good to see that.
The game was well and truly done by then. It was you were just playing for position by then. So
also, when he gave his yellow cards, did anyone notice to see? I thought those yellow cards
I haven't noticed,
massive.
but I've just Googled him. He has square cards.
They're massive, the yellow cards. It looks like he was taking out
the cards that I use. The long side of the card. His is that size, square. Ours are oblong. I made that sound hard.
Oblong. I haven't heard that for ages, Pearcey.
It's rectangular for those that weren't born in the 70s like me.
It was especially when he gave it to that Bordeaux player on the 73rd minute. I'm like, what are you putting in your pocket? How does it fit? How big are the
imagine his
bags?
pockets. Yeah, exactly right. So imagine trying to get those in your sock. You'd have to go calf day every day of the week.
Yeah, when did that become a thing? I've been watching a couple of the Super Rugby guys fumble in their sock for a card.
When did it become a thing? When they forgot to put pockets in the
guys,
shorts.
Come on, seriously. We've got to carry 3 cards now at community level, 2 at the senior level, and in some comps, 3 at the senior level. I think I've always wanted the brown card as well. That's shit.
Yeah.
We'll make you one.
Yeah.
And you'll just use it one day.
I'm not sending you off, but that's shit. When did that become a thing? Like putting it in your sock?
I reckon we made it big for like the stadium, maybe to see. Maybe it's a spectacular
anyone at home,
cards.
There's an article where John Kerwin slams countries opposed to 20-minute red card. You can see Carl's card. It'd be easily 10 centimetres square.
It's a big thing of cheese. It is a
Maybe
big chunk of cheese.
Maybe it's a soccer one. He lost his cards on the flight to Bilbao. He had to grab the nearest one from the change rooms.
Well, no, I'm looking at images of Carl Dixon cards. There's 20 images of him using a bigger card than what we use.
Right. Well, next time we see him, we'll have to ask him about his cards.
Yeah. Be better, Carl.
Yeah.
To be different.
Absolutely.
Just like everyone else.
Trends and talking points. Okay. We're getting a bit untidy in line out again. Players leaving the line out before the ball is thrown to start the drive. We're trying to tidy up line out to more with the law clarification coming from the 1st of June, but we've still got that happening. So we've got to fix that. That's easy to fix. Guys, you can't move until the ball's thrown because you get an advantage on your drive, and that's just not how we should be doing it. So we need to fix that up. A left field one for you, but this is highly relevant. So US basketball jersey sales. Who's got the number 1 sales and who's number 2?
Is it the Bulls?
Why is this
still
important?
The Bulls?
No, we're talking individuals here.
Oh, the Greek Freak?
No. Giannis does not get a mention.
So is it that New Zealand
Steph Curry
player?
Steph Curry's number 1. Pearcey, you're cheating.
No, I'm checking my emails.
Right. Yes, Steph Curry's number 1. Who's number 2?
Wet Bananas?
Are they Australian?
Nope.
Or Kiwi?
They're not Australian. No, not
Michael
Kiwi.
Jordan?
Nope. No. And not LeBron either. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is number 2.
Oh, good.
And why am I saying this?
Now I get it.
Because
you had lost me, but now I get it, Rob. Yes.
If you provide the infrastructure and you support the women's game, you get results like that. She's a second-year player. She's only just come out of rookie year.
Yep.
She's number 2 in basketball jersey sales.
She scores amazing points.
In the biggest market in the world.
Yep.
And that is a lesson for rugby.
Let's get some Ellie Kildun jerseys out there. They will sell well. Let's get some of the
I would wear a Maddie Levi jersey.
It's about investing in the female game, and that's what the US is doing really well. That's what the English are doing in their rugby. We have to do that as well because we have the athletes, we have the interest, and that is an absolute bellwether for how
I was wondering where you were going with that, Rob. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great
Let's get
talking
it.
point. Great trend.
Thanks,
Let's do
Pearcey.
it. Get on board.
Yeah,
Some of your
absolutely.
best work right there. That's
Get
awesome.
some ready for the tests coming up, guys, and then even for the World Cup.
And some of the jerseys that are selling well are some of the not quite standard jerseys. The Indigenous jersey, I love the fact
me
that
too.
is everywhere.
It's
The
my
young kids are
favourite.
wearing that. Let's get an Indigenous female jersey with a little bit of pink on the green and gold. It'll sell like hotcakes.
Well, yeah, let the girls decide, right? So, and it's not just about merch, it's about the ecosystem around it. It's about making heroes, providing the games, everything else, right? So
I'm going to go out and get a Piper Duck jersey.
Yeah, Piper. Love Piper. She's great value.
So good.
So, and there's so many wonderful personalities. Desi Miller's another one. And she's an absolute
fit that.
gem.
That's not my
It's
size.
extra small.
What a great backstory.
Yes.
Like, what a great family. You know, just there's so much to talk about there. So we've got to get on it. World Rugby does mention it in their strategy that I alluded to earlier. The women's game is a pillar of that, which is good.
I was going to say, if anyone needs someone who works in fashion and also likes rugby, let me know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Candace.
A
Maybe we should do our own
materialologist.
merch too.
Yes.
Maybe some play-on merch. What do you reckon?
I agree.
Background
Fabricologist
in garment
Candace.
technology and fabric actually comes into use. There you go.
I think play-on merch could be a goer.
I wore a comms kit for the first time in a long while, and I wore an undershirt for the first time in a long while because of that. Rob, anyone want to have a stab about what undershirt I wore? It was on brand for the weekend.
So was it a Collingwood one?
It was a Collingwood tank top with the number 10.
Oh, stop. All this goes to your theme.
It does. And if anyone wants to have a good laugh, there's a version of Let It Be that has been rewritten for Scott Pendlebury.
Right,
When
okay.
you find yourself in times of trouble, pass the ball to Pendlebury.
Okay. I was wondering where you're going with that, Pearcey.
So, mate, if you get a chance, it's great. They brought him into the sheds. It was last year, but they brought him in the sheds in Collingwood, and it's so good. It sums up why Scott Pendlebury is the greatest of all time. Back to rugby.
Back to rugby. Stat Central. We've got two that I think are worthy of note in Stat Central. Firstly, a mad Scrabble hand, 7 A's, Alan Alalalato. 150 Super Rugby games. That is impressive. Seriously impressive. That's a hell of a front row, that one, down at the Brums. Yeah. Before you've
Their
thrown
front
your hooker
row's
in.
got more caps than the opposition.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes the statistics really skewed depending on who's playing and who's not. 150, good on you, Alan.
One of the good guys, yeah.
Of the Australian rugby system, but with roots into the Pacifica diaspora and back home. So wonderful story. And he got a meat pie.
Yeah, and wasn't that awesome?
So that was good to see. I was at the ground. I saw that, and happy to celebrate a bloke who spent a lot of his life in Sydney.
Yep.
So that was awesome. And then speaking of which, spending a lot of time in Sydney, born and bred, Gertley Beale. He is now third on the all-time Super Rugby list.
Yeah, which is an
186.
amazing effort. Because guys with those sort of talents, they don't tend to be the ones that linger around. He's durable, and he's missed a lot of game time over the years too for various reasons.
Well, and he was overseas for a while as well.
That being one of the various reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, apart from the other various reasons. Yeah, he wasn't playing here.
Yeah.
So 37, still going strong, still enjoying his footy clearly. He's on 186. The two props ahead of him are 209, 202.
It brings me a great deal of joy seeing guys that I refereed still running around, and there's two of them. There's not many left.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Big Caden was on there as well. I used to ref Caden. So
also 37. Yeah. An alumni of my younger son's school. So with Reece Hodge.
Yeah.
Couple of pretty good Manly footy players right there.
Well done, Alan. Well done, Kirtley.
Done. Appointments. Okay, we've got to go through the appointments because there is a bit happening here. So bear with me. Righto, we've got the final round of Super. We're recording later in the week, so we have our appointments for Super. And this is where it gets really interesting. You can see the matches that are important and the ones that maybe aren't quite as important. Crusaders and Hurricanes on Friday night. Yeah,
it's important.
I reckon that one's pretty important. And that's in Christchurch. They've been selling out down there. The Crusaders are coming in hot. Their coach has announced he's leaving. So it is on. And they're playing the Hurricanes, who for me are just looking a little bit teetery and who've rested a few players.
Yep.
So, are the Hurricanes doing the Crusaders a favour? Maybe. risky strategy? Maybe. But irrespective, this is going to be an absolute doozy of
my
a game.
beloved Penrith Panthers have done this the last couple of seasons and couldn't last year. This works if it's done well, and it falls apart if it's done badly.
Yeah, that's right. So it's dangerous territory. Bez has got that one, Nick Berry and his pod. So Ruben Keane, we'll come back to him in a minute. Louis Trisley, who's doing way more super than he expected in the preseason.
Doing very well.
Based on performance, so really proud of him, Louis. Well done, mate. He just had his birthday recently too. Brett Cronin's a TMO.
Can he vote now?
Can he vote? Yeah, he can vote. Well, he's going to make some decisions soon because he's a fourth-year med student. So, life's getting interesting for him. Crossroads coming up, I reckon. So let's see where he goes with that. But he's doing a great job. So a strong pod there. And I like that one. It's a fully neutral pod as well. So 4 Aussies on it, on a Kiwi derby. I reckon there's lots to like about that. Next match is Reds and Drua. Now, this match has consequences as well because Reds are playing for position. Drua are playing for pride, so that brings all sorts of danger. That's at Suncorp. Jimmy Diamond's on that with his guys, Fraser Hannon, Dan Moore. Don't know Dan that well. Glenn Newman's the TMO. Right, then we go to Canberra. And again, another team playing for position, Brumbies, against Moana, who are playing quite possibly their last ever game, quite likely their last ever game. So again, another team playing for pride against a team playing for position. Oh, spicy. So Geordie's got that one with Damon Murphy, Jeremy Markey, and Leck. So we've got the 3 Queenslanders on field and Leck, the infamous Leck, in the box.
Not a Queenslander. He's not a Queenslander.
No, not a Queenslander. Absolutely not. That's going to be a cracking game. Then Chiefs and Blues. This is one of the biggest games in New Zealand rugby. It's a derby game. They're both playing for position. They're both in the finals. How they shape up for next week is really important. It's cowbell country in the Waikato. Gussie,
Woo,
George Myers,
well done.
Matty Kay, and Graham Cooper. The same team that were on the Hurricanes Highlanders game. Great. That's awesome.
Yep.
So going well so far. And then you got Force and Waratahs, dead rubber, 2 teams just having a bit of fun in Perth.
And this is the appointment I'm actually interested in. Who are we blooding?
Marcus Blale's got this.
Yeah, okay.
He's got Todd Petrie and Warwick Lammert in his pod. Ollie Kellett is the TMO. So Ollie Kellett from Victoria. One to watch that one. Interested to see how that goes. So that will be a fascinating match.
It'll be a hard match. Very hard match.
Oh, look, anything could happen in that game. And most likely will.
Yep.
So
I've reffed that match. It's a tough match.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's going to be a real yeah.
Wallaby jerseys
Don't know what
play,
we're going to get there.
Results not. That usually for Australian teams spells an ugly match.
And the World Rugby Junior World Championships panel has also been announced. That's come out overnight. So the referees are Christopher Allison from South Africa, Kevin Brawley from France, Rory Campbell from Scotland, Ben Connor from Wales, Gonzalo de Achaval from Argentina, Robbie Jenkinson from Ireland, Ruben Keane, that's his second under 20s, so well done, Rubes. Saba Makaratse from Georgia, so he'll be the local guy on the ground, so they'll be all finding out from him where to go. Luke Rogan, notionally USA, but very much Sydney born and bred, so yeah, he's certainly one of ours, so big Aussie connection there. George Selwood, so
Dr. Evil,
your favourite.
He'll be finishing up the 7s and heading there.
Yeah, absolutely. David Vosalevu, who Candace and I had dinner with on Saturday night. So he's a Fijian referee in Sydney doing a couple of shoot games in prep for the under-20. So we wish David well.
Yeah,
and
big traveller. Well done to him.
Morgan White from Hong Kong, China, who's also got local connections. He's been coached by someone you may know, Pearcey. So then we've got TMOs. We've got Matt Rodden, also from Hong Kong, China. Aled Griffiths from Wales. Paulo Duarte and Francisco Gonzalez, Portugal and Uruguay, respectively. Both Sevens referees have gone into the TMO box, both here in the Sevens. Know those boys well. Congratulations. Very pleased for you.
Well done.
So, yeah, lots of Aussie connections there, and we're just under a month to go until that kicks off. So,
fantastic.
Pathway appointments, really important tournament for those guys. So, very excited. And Ella and Rachel, of course, are in the Sevens. So, yeah, that is appointments.
Wow, that was a long list, but well deserved, everyone. So congrats, and look forward to seeing how those Junior World Champions work out and where to watch it. That'd be cool.
Rob, that was some great stats. I think that was one of your better pods, Rod, can I say? I thought you were
thank
okay
you,
today.
Pearcey.
I was still pretty average. Candace, as always, spectacular. Thank you. Really looking forward to seeing you in Molong in the central of the West.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll arrange how we're going to get there. What
Yes, I'll
we
get my
wanna do
people to talk to your people.
after. Yeah, my PA, your PA. Thank you all for listening, and you can find us on YouTube and drop us a follow on Instagram as well. We do some fun reels. If you haven't seen Pearcey's one from
Yeah, that's
last
great
week.
fun.
Degree of difficulty, Pearcey.
Still hurts me to watch it. Still got a bruise on my leg.
Oh no, bless. Thank you everyone for listening, and see you later.
Jouer.